The air was thick with the scent of damp earth as she wandered deeper into the foggy woods, the trees looming like silent sentinels. Margot had heard the stories about this place. It was said that those who ventured too far never returned the same. Yet she felt an irresistible pull toward the heart of the forest, an unexplainable urge that drowned out her better judgment. She wrapped her arms around herself, shivering as the chill nipped at her. Shadows danced around her, elongated and swaying, seemingly alive in the fog. Margot's footsteps crunched against twigs on the forest floor, the sound oddly loud in the oppressive silence. With each step, the whisper of the woods grew louder, a cacophony of voices that ebbed and flowed like the wind, a torturous melody that played upon her fear. As she ventured further, she stumbled upon a clearing, overgrown and wild. In the center stood an ancient stone well, moss creeping up its sides like fingers clawing toward the sky. The well's mouth gaped wide open, a darkness that seemed to pulse with a life of its own. Margot could feel the weight of the air pressing down on her, a heavy blanket that clung to her skin. She edged closer, peering down into the abyss, her breath hitching in her throat. "Help me, please," a voice echoed from below, soft and haunting, sending shivers racing down her spine. It sounded so close, yet impossibly far away. Instinctively, Margot took a step back, but the pleading persisted, wrapping around her like a cold embrace. "I'm trapped. I can't get out," it whimpered, the tone shifting from desperate to menacing, a mix of sorrow and malice. Heart racing, she turned to leave, but the shadows shifted, coiling around her like a serpent. The trees seemed to close in, branches weaving together, entwining like fingers that held her in place. "Stay," the voice called again, now deep and guttural, echoing with the weight of countless souls. Panic clawed at her throat as she fought against the unseen restraints, her feet rooted to the spot. The air thickened, steeped in something ancient and vile, as her mind spiraled into chaos. She could almost see figures flickering at the edge of her sight, blurred silhouettes writhing, reaching for her, their intentions shrouded in darkness. "Join us," they cried, their voices intertwining with the soft rustle of leaves, a chilling symphony that tugged at her sanity. In that moment, Margot understood. The pleas had never been for help. They were a lure, an invitation to join the throng of lost souls entwined within the forest's grasp. Desperation seeped from her bones as she wrestled against the invisible chains, but the forest had a will of its own, feeding off her fear, growing stronger with each pulse of her heartbeat. With a sudden surge of will, she turned once more towards the well. It was her only chance. As she approached the gaping mouth, a nameless instinct urged her to lean in just a little closer. "Do it," the voices begged. "You belong with us." Margot gasped, feeling an unnatural force pulling her forward, teetering on the brink. In a fleeting moment of clarity, she realized they didn't want her help. They wanted her essence, her existence. Summoning every ounce of strength, she yanked herself away, stumbling backward as the shadows roared in frustration. She ran, fleeing from the clearing, from the beckoning well. The murmurs turned into furious howls, chasing her as she plunged deeper into the woods, branches clawing at her skin like accusations. She dashed towards the path she hoped she had come from, but the forest had shifted, reality warping and twisting around her. Finally, Margot burst through the tree line, gasping for air as she emerged back into the fading light of dusk. Home wasn't far, she thought, relief flooding through her. But then she stopped cold, frozen in disbelief. There it stood, a mirror image of the clearing, identical yet wrong, with the stone well now mocking her under the dim glow of the setting sun. The voices faded, but the feeling of their grasp lingered. She turned to run, only to find the darkness stretching behind her, the forest patiently waiting. The moment hung in the air, and as Margot took her first step back toward the suffocating fog, she realized the truth. In their realm, the lost never truly leave.